Al-Mutaffifin 83, ayah 13, 14, 15, 16. إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون ثم إنهم لصالو الجحيم. And when our ayahs, signs are recited on him, he says lines of the earlier people, by no means, but what they earned have rusted their hearts. By no means, on the day they will be definitely in hijab, wail about their Lord, then surely they will roast in hell. Now I'm telling you, this is an ayah educating us that these ayahs are recited on you. When our ayahs are recited on him, mankind, on him or person, he said these are the lines of the earlier people. These are the lines, these ayahs are lines of the earlier people discussing about the earlier people. So Allah said, by no means, what they have earned have rusted their hearts. What the people have done wrong in their life have rusted their hearts, means their hearts are like stone, or they have rusted, their hearts have become rusted. You have to cleanse your heart, to rust the heart. So Allah said, by no means on the day of judgment, they will be in hijab. Wail about their Lord. So believe me, in this world, right now in this world, if you are not acquainted, if you are not known about the eyes of Allah, then you are in hijab from Lord, from Allah. Meaning you are having a barrier with the Allah's ayahs. You are not knowing Allah's ayahs, you are having a barrier about Allah's ayahs. So on the day of judgment also Allah says, they will be in a veil about their Lord. They don't know anything what Lord said. So we have to know now about hijab and everything, so that we should not be on the day of judgment, we will be in the hijab. Then surely they will roast in hell, which I don't like. Surah Fussilat 41:5. And they say further, وَقَالُوا قُلُوبُنَا فِي أَكِنَّةٍ مِّمَّا تَدْعُونَا إِلَيْهِ وَفِي آذَانِنَا وَقْرٌ وَمِن بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكَ حِجَابٌ فَعَمَلْ إِنَّنَا عَامِلُونَ. And they said, our hearts are in covering. From that you invite us toward him, and in our ears is deafness, and between us and you is a hijab, veil. So you work, surely we are working. So the people who are in opposition or who do not want to take guidance from the Quranic ayahs, their statements is mentioned. They themselves they said our hearts are in a covering. They themselves confessing. From that you invite towards him, towards Allah. In our ears is a deafness, and between us and you is a hijab, veil. So you work, surely we are working. Simple. So if you do not know the eyes of Allah, so the one who knows and the one who doesn't know, they are in between, there is a hijab. And that hijab is, one is of knowing of hijab, he doesn't know. The other person doesn't know. So he says, in our hearts is deafness, and between us and you is a hijab. So knowing, if you don't know, you are in hijab from Allah and Allah's ayahs. So you have to break that barrier, you must know. So you follow Allah and His Messenger. And again, Surah 17, Allah also defined that He puts a hijab. 17, 45, 46, وَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ جَعَلْنَا بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ حِجَابًا مَسْتُورًا وَجَعَلْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ أَكِنَّةً أَن يَفْقَهُوهُ وَفِي آذَانِهِمْ وَقْرًا وَإِذَا ذَكَرْتَ رَبَّكَ فِي الْقُرْآنِ وَحْدَهُ وَلَّوْا عَلَىٰ أَدْبَارِهِمْ نُفُورًا. And when you read Al-Quran, the reading, we put a hijab, veil, invisible, between you and those who do not believe in the last day. And we put a covering on their hearts, and they should understand it. And in their ears is deafness. And when you mention your Lord, Him alone, in Al-Quran, the reading, they turn on their backs fleeing. Now, these ayahs are educating all of us that when a person reverts or converts or come back to the truth, until and unless he realizes that I'm going to die and I have to give an account. This is very important for everybody. If you do not believe that you have to give an account on the last day, you will not prepare yourself. On any examination, we prepare ourselves to pass the exam, any examination. So this is how you have to prepare. So in this ayah it says, when you read the Quran, the reading, we put a hijab, veil invisible between you and those who do not believe in the last day. Those people, right now, or whenever my lecture is being broadcast, those who do not believe in the last day, that they have to give their account, Allah puts a hijab, a veil in between that you cannot understand. Invisible hijab. Allah does it. Because you are not believing the last day and your account, you do not believe the ayahs and you do not believe and practice the ayahs. So now what happens? Allah puts a hijab, veil, invisible between you, the reader, and those who do not be in the last day. And Allah further says, and we put a covering on their hearts that they should understand it. And in their ears is deafness. And when you mention your Lord, Him alone, in Al-Quran, the reading, they turn on their backs fleeing. So in this ayah is very, very definitely a difficult situation that we must take warning and heed. And this, when Allah puts a covering on their hearts, they should understand it. So people say, I didn't understand. It's very difficult. Quran is very difficult to understand. Why? Because you're listening to the people. There is no hijab from the people. Because all you have been hearing is from the people. So you put a hijab, you block what you know. Whenever you read the ayat, you block it, and then you try to understand what Allah is saying. If you do not block it, it will dominate and it will make sure that these eyes are subdued, or the spirit of the ayat is gone. So basically, ayat is telling us that the person who do not believe in the last day, la yu'minu bil akhirah, Allah puts a hijab, invisible hijab. The person who do not believe in the last day, Allah puts a hijab and he will not. Mastura means hidden. You can't see it.